Welcome back. Now, Pastor Doc has laid for us a very good foundation. Sasa umesha lima, umerudia. Sasa ni kuangusha tu mbegu sasa. As we go. Now we are now diving, after knowing now who the man is, who the woman is, the purpose, the word, the assignment. Now we come down to the real thing now.
Intimate sex in marriage.
Yes.
You know, if you read the book of Genesis chapter 4, verse 1, the Bible says, and now Adam knew his wife. It doesn't say Adam had sex with his wife.
Yes.
That word knew there it's where we get the word knowledge. Or also where we get the word carnal knowledge. It is the same word that Paul uses when he says in Philippians chapter 3 verse 20, I believe, that I may know him and the power of his resurrection. Think about it this way, that Paul is writing this letter from the prison and he has had a journey with God. Jesus appeared to him in person and called him. He has had encounters with God. But towards the tail end of his life, he's telling us that he still wants to know him. That there are certain dimensions and elements about him that he has not known yet. That is the exact same word that is translated in Genesis chapter 4 verse 1. And Adam knew his wife. So that knowledge points to two things. Number one, it is an intimate knowledge. And then it is a knowledge that is full of discoveries. That is why Paul is saying, I have known him, but that I may know him. There are things about him that I discover every day. There are things about him that I come across every day that I have never come across before. So the first time sex is introduced in the Bible, the word that is used for it is knowledge of the person.
So the first definition of sex is knowledge.
It is knowledge of the person, intimate knowledge of the person. It is not just a conjoinment of genitals. Those are parts that we use to achieve the carnal knowledge or the intimate knowledge, but really they are not the knowledge itself. And therefore, you can have sex with somebody that you will never know. It's not intimate because when it comes to intimate sex in marriage, it is hinged on knowledge of the person. That's what I mean. Men who sleep with prostitutes don't know them.
They don't know them.
They just penetrate them. They don't know them. They will never tell you this is what she likes. This is how she thinks. This is I know how she would behave in this particular circumstance or scenario.
No.
It is just hit and go. But in a marriage setup, sex is beyond interaction of the genitals. Sex provides a platform for getting to know the other person. So that is what I have to put across early in this in this second part of the show. That when we talk about intimate sex in marriage, it is really getting to know the other person intimately. It is beyond the organs coming into contact. Now, having established that, then we need to ask ourselves, how is it possible for us to achieve intimate sex in marriage? Now, there are several things that we need to consider. In a marriage context, there are very many types of intimacies. Remember, when I'm talking about intimacy, I am talking about knowledge of the other person. Now, you have to notice that in the previous chapter of Genesis chapter 2, the last verse says that Adam and his wife were naked and were not ashamed. Speaking of vulnerability, because marriage is the institution that you will be the most vulnerable to another person because they get to see you in your nakedness.
Yeah.
Every time you are naked before somebody and there is shame, it means you are not supposed to be naked before that person. You just try it. Even when you go to the washroom, you'll try to cover your nakedness because that's not the audience for your nakedness. You can't walk in public without clothes because the public is not the audience. But before your spouse, you are not trying to cover
free.
anything because marriage provides the place where nakedness can be displayed without there being any shame. But that nakedness is not just physical nakedness. It is also life nakedness. In fact, I've said before, there's a difference between nudity and nakedness.
What's the difference?
Nudity is when your physical body is exposed to an audience that should not be able to see it. So for example, if I remove my clothes in the presence of my partner, that is not nudity, that is nakedness. If I remove my clothes in the presence of my doctor, that is not nudity, that is nakedness. Because that audience deserves that nakedness. That's what I'm talking about. But nudity is when I am showing people my body who are not supposed to be seeing the intimate parts of my body.
I get that.
Before Adam and Eve knew each other, they were in a context of naked and not ashamed. They were in a context of vulnerability. It is going to be very hard for any married couple to have intimate sex in marriage if they have not come to the place of vulnerability. Vulnerability means that you can be able to show who you are and allow the other person to see all aspects of your life, both good and bad, without feeling that it's ever going to be used against you or you are ever going to be judged. And it takes time even for couples to build vulnerability. Now, I said that there are different types of intimacies in marriage. The last one, which is the reward for all the other intimacies, is sexual intimacy.
Sexual is the last.
That's the last
not
one.
The first.
The first one is spiritual intimacy.
Wow.
You are not going to have intimate sex. Remember, we are not talking about just penetrative sex. We are not just talking at, babe, you have come and then now that was very good, I'm going to work. That's not what we are talking about. We are talking about intimate sex. Intimate sex is a reward of the following intimacies. Number one, spiritual intimacy. By spiritual intimacy, I mean that the couple must have the same doctrinal beliefs and practices. It can't be that a couple, one is in such a way that one goes to one church, the other one goes to a different church. So today if I go to Rome Salaba Church and then now the preacher preaches how he was dreaming and he saw a frog and the frog became an angel and the angel came to my house. Then the other one goes to a church where they were taught the fruit of the Holy Spirit. What are we going to discuss in the evening?
Nothing.
You have nothing to discuss.
Nothing in common.
You have nothing in common spiritually. So I always challenge married couples, even for the singles, that before you get married, you have to agree what are your beliefs. And when you're talking about kingdom marriage, you have to believe in the same thing. You have to believe in the Bible. You must have the same doctrinal beliefs so that does not become a point of departure. So spiritual intimacy is very important. Spiritual intimacy can be achieved by a couple in three ways. Number one, going to the same spiritual house where you are receiving from the same altar or from the same pulpit or from the same preacher, or at least from a person that both of you have agreed. You can also achieve spiritual intimacy by studying the word of God together. And thirdly, by praying together. You pray for each other and you pray with each other. That way you are going to establish spiritual intimacy over a period of time, and also carrying out spiritual disciplines together, like prayer, study of the word, fasting, quality, what is it called? It's called
quality time.
Quality time, not quality time. It's called your personal time of prayer.
Meditation.
Meditation and just taking time to be with God alone. When you do those things as a couple, you are going to build spiritual intimacy. The second type of intimacy, I'm giving you the intimacy that need to be there.
And in the order of
importance.
Importance, yeah.
The second type of intimacy is emotional intimacy. Emotion, and you know, the opposite of intimacy really is infidelity. Because it means now you are taking you are allowing another person who is not your spouse to know you spiritually. So you find there are people who are married, but they have a prayer partner in the office. You know, there was a prayer partner joke sometimes back on TikTok.
Yeah.
They have a prayer who is of the opposite gender.
Yeah.
They pray together. They agree together. They fast together, and they are not married. What that does, it begins to create a bond, a spiritual bond. Okay? When we talk about emotional intimacy is when you share your will, your emotions, and your intellect with your spouse. Basically, this one is psychological intimacy or intimacy of the mind. You share your plans, you share your fears. The first person you talk to when you are looking for advice, or when you are having an idea, or when you want to communicate how you feel, should be your spouse. When your spouse feels that they can be able to talk to you about anything, and you are there for them, you create time for them, you listen to them, even if they don't agree with some of the things that you are planning to do or saying, but at least that person is there for you. You get what we call emotional intimacy. We can be able to talk about anything without judging one another, and without feeling unheard. The third type of intimacy is what I call financial intimacy. You know, financial intimacy is when we have put our resources together in full disclosure for the sake of the marriage. And every time even I do marriage counseling and premarital counseling, I always tell people, you cannot achieve financial intimacy, number one, if you do not have a joint marital and family vision. Not account, vision.
Yes.
Because vision is, this is what we are doing together as a marriage. Because in marriage, you are not alone, you are one. You have come together to be one. If you find that one person is trying to pursue one thing and the other is pursuing another, that is division, which is division, and I already talked about it. You must have a family vision. This family vision should speak to things like, for example, how many children do we want to have? Where do we want them to go to school? When do we want them to go to those schools? Where are we going to build our home? Are we going to have a home and a house? Are we going to have our home in the village, or our home in a different place, or our home in Nairobi? What are we going to do together as a business? How many acres of land do we want to have? You have to, what are we going to do? What is our mission? You have to have a family vision, because the finances that God provides for a marriage are supposed to fuel the family vision. And it is important to note that the husband is not the provider of the family. God is the provider of the family. But remember, the husband is the visionary leader. Therefore, he should be able to lead the conversations that would help to govern that which God is providing. God provides to the marriage through both couples, both persons, the husband and the wife. I remember when I was in primary school, the mathematics teacher used to give us a question that a tank has 2 inlets and it has 4 outlets. Calculate the number of minutes it will take for the tank to fill. There's a tank here that is called marriage. Tap A is the husband. Tap B is the wife. The source of the water from the external tank, which channels to tap A and B, is God. So God provides for the marriage through the husband and through the wife. When they come, the resources are put together for the marriage. It can't be, Bwana Salano, that I can give my body to my partner, but I cannot give my past to my partner. It shows then where my value is. If I can show somebody my nakedness and allow their genitals to come into contact with mine, yet I am keeping financial secrets, or I do not want to bring our money together, we are not married. So you are either married or you are not married.
Yeah.
Listen very carefully. God is the provider, but the man is the leader that sets up the infrastructure to collect that which God is providing. Together with his wife, he consults with his wife. This is the job we can do. This is the business we can do. And he champions that conversation. But once the money has come through the wife and through the husband, they have come, and the amount does not matter. It doesn't matter who is earning more. Remember, when you're earning and your wife is earning, it is not the two of you who are earning. It is the marriage that is earning through two different inlets, not two different sources. We have already known the source
is one
that is providing the resource through the two inlets. That's the husband and the wife.
Wow.
They are collected together. Now, once we have collected this together, we should not have this politics of how much have I brought and how much have you brought. It belongs to one
marriage.
It basically means that then the husband, tap A, must know what tap B is bringing, and vice versa. There should be full disclosure on inlets, on the channels God is using to provide for this marriage through my husband or my wife, so that whatever is now brought to the tank, it is at the full view of both of us. Now, so we have two inlets. There are 4 outlets. For any kingdom marriage that has a vision, the outlets are 4, and they are not from the husband or the wife, they are from the tank, the joint tank. Remember, 2 inlets and 4 outlets. The first one is expenses. What do you want to spend on in your life that has nothing to do with your marriage? Think about it.
What we want to spend.
What do you want to do with your money that has nothing to do with your marriage if you're married? Expenses are supposed to be joined. So we list down our expenses. We are paying rent, or we are paying mortgage, we are paying school fees, we are buying groceries, we are fueling the car, we are maintaining the car, we are buying airtime, all those operational expenses of the home. That is the first outlet. And the tool that is used there to determine what is our expenses is a budget. Okay? So it means there should be joint budget. There's nothing like my husband pays the big things, I pay the small ones. He pays school fees, he pays rent, then I buy groceries and pay the house help. That is not a kingdom marriage, because it means that you have 2 different purses. Number 2, other than expenses, it is giving. A kingdom marriage must be able to give to the following 3 categories. Number 1, you must be able to give to the church where you are going to fellowship as a kingdom couple. So you are giving your offerings and you are giving your tithes. And the offerings and the tithes are a percentage of the joint family income.
Wow.
Number 2, you have to give to the community. It can't be you're walking on the streets, somebody is asking for 10 shillings, you're telling the child, enda shule usome. Ama you're telling, where is your husband? You must plan to give to the community. So as you budget, make sure you have 1,000 or 2 per month, which you can break into small denominations, so that you give to anybody who asks in the community. You budget for it. Number 3, you have to give to your family, what is called black tax.
Wow.
It can't be you're in Nairobi, people in the village. I know you may have your own views, but even the Bible talks about he who is not able to provide for his relatives is worse than an infidel. And it doesn't talk about the husband over there. It talks about both the husband and the wife. So we should always plan to give to those 3 areas. So I've talked about expenses. I've talked about
givings.
The giving. Number 3 is saving. Jesus saved us yesterday. We save money today so that it will save us tomorrow.
Okay.
So if you save money today, it is going to save you in the future. But savings must always be goal-oriented. We don't just save for the sake of having cash in the bank. All right? Savings must be tied to a mission. We want to buy a car. We want to buy a house. We want to buy land. We want to invest in stocks. We want to travel for holiday. Savings must always have a goal. That is the only way you will not be withdrawing your savings most of the time.
Wow.
And finally, we have investing. So there is expenditure, there is giving, there is savings, and there is, those are the 4 outlets.
Wow.
Those are the 4 outlets for any kingdom marriage tank. 2 inlets, 4 outlets. And it's for the 2 of you to decide how that is going to happen.
Wow.
It is not possible to run that ecosystem with secrecy. I've always told couples that secrets will always create suspects. There has to be full disclosure on how much money each of us are earning and bringing to them. And remember that tank, it is not necessarily a joint account. Though for me, what I advise, as soon as couples get married, they should form a holdings company where 2 of them are directors and they own the company 50-50. Of course, 50-50 because of government reasons.
Yeah.
Then that company becomes the company that administers all the 4 outlets that I have talked about. So if I get paid today by a client, I can, and it's money that is not for the business, or let's say whatever money I have earned, whether I'm running a business or I've been paid by my employer, I take that money and I put it in the bank account that is owned by the company which we have formed. And my wife would do the same. Therefore, in our meetings, the bank statement we shall be looking at to check how much money did we get this month is the bank statement of that holdings company. That holdings company is also a company you can use to buy your assets as a marriage, to buy your land, to buy stocks, to invest together. If you have workers, you pay them from that company. It helps with a lot of things. So there cannot be secrecy when it comes to building financial intimacy. Secrets are the biggest killer of intimacy. And I've always told people that the opposite of intimacy is what? Infidelity. Because you can have emotional infidelity. You can have
financial infidelity.
And spiritual infidelity is we are praying together, but or when you go to see your mother, you go to the witch doctor. So you are tapping from other powers. You can cheat on your partner, but you cannot cheat on the marriage. You can lie to your partner, but you can't lie to them. The marriage will know you are a spiritual infidel. Wow. The marriage will know you are an emotional infidel. The marriage will know you are a financial infidel. The last one now is sexual infidelity or sexual intimacy. You know, for there to be sexual intimacy or intimate sex in marriage, spiritual intimacy, emotional intimacy, and financial intimacy must already be in place. If you
before you go into sexual intimacy, that's a very good breakdown you've given us. And the other day I was in a radio station. And the host asked me, what has made your marriage to work so well? And I could trace it back. I told her it was because of our spiritual intimacy with my wife. And I think we were struggling so much, even in sexual intimacy, in financial intimacy. But the moment we began focus on the spiritual intimacy, these other things just fell. They fall in place.
Yeah, because a lot of trimming normally happens in the spirit. Your rough edges are removed. Your selfishness is dealt with.
Because you find that you are really struggling to. We want to have sex every day. We want to do. It's now very mechanical.
It's become mechanical.
Than just becoming automatic. But when you fix the spiritual part, things just begin becoming so easy. Then when you come to emotional intimacy, you talked about you must be very open, talking to each other. Now, you said also spending time together. Something like now being vulnerable to one another. What do you talk when you are with your spouse? You'll find that maybe you used to only discuss about politics. A conversation that you can have with any stranger in the car. I always call them the outcore communications. The outcore communications. You talk about politics, you talk about nation progress, you talk about Kasongo government, you talk about taxing with your spouse. That's a very weak form of communication. When you come to the inner core, now we can talk about maybe things that affect us indirectly. We can talk about rent, we talk about bills, we talk about our children, relatives as mom-in-law received our monthly job. This is also a good thing, but it doesn't help you to grow together as a couple. Now, when you come to the Holy of Holies or the inner core, we only focus on me and you.
Absolutely.
For if we try to evaluate myself now for the last 1 month, how have I been?
Yeah.
Have I improved? Which areas do you think I should work on better? Can we have our next date this week? What do you think can we to make our marriage strong? So you only talk about the two of you. And I've discovered that most marriages, people are only talking about the outer core and the inner core.
Yeah.
So you find you are in the house, we're talking about, did you watch the match yesterday?
Yeah.
I didn't like how Nani was playing. The team has been arranged. So you find all these things are just making you feel like, that's why now you talked about someone being in a marriage but very lonely.
Yeah.
Because there is not that
There's
intimacy.
no connection.
So I was just thinking that for spiritual intimacy, which is now the head, but we always look at which as the head, sexual intimacy. And our sex life is so good, then we think our marriage is good. Your marriage cannot be good if the spiritual, the emotional, and the financial are weak.
That's okay.
Now you can land into the sexual intimacy.
Yeah, thank you for the elaboration. Yeah, so I have said that sexual intimacy or intimate sex in marriage is a reward of the other three intimacies. And every time we do not have intimate sex in marriage, it means that either one or two or all the three that I have talked about are lacking. Yeah, so when it comes to sexual intimacy in marriage, there are several things that I always say. That number one, we are not coming to the marriage to take sex. We are coming to the marriage to give sex. I am coming to meet the sexual needs of my partner. It's very difficult to achieve sexual intimacy in marriage when both of us are selfish. All right? So intimate sex will only happen if we have thrown out selfishness that I am coming to take and it's about me and so on. And I'll break it down a little further later. So we are coming to give sex. That's number one. Number two, for there to be intimate sex in marriage, there has to be great communication. I have always said before that great sex is always a reward of great connection. And great connection is a reward of great communication. Great communicators connect well and copulate well.
Great communicators connect well and copulate well.
Yes, you have to communicate. If you don't have good communication, you will have poor connection. And when you have poor connection, you will have poor sex. Copulation. What is poor copulation or poor sex? The only things that have come into contact are your genitals. The two of you as persons have not come together. Marital sex should be beautiful and dutiful.
Wow.
So, if you do not have good connection, most of the time the sex will be dutiful. You will be doing it for the sake of your partner, even if you are not in it. But when you are connected because of good communication, you are going to have beautiful more than dutiful sex. And people should graduate from duty to beauty. And how do you do that? Communicate well. How do you communicate well? Number one, no secrets. Number two, you have to be so I'm talking about communicating well. Number one, there should be no secrets. Number two, you should normalize using your mouth to speak and not your body language. That great sex is a reward of great connection, and great connection is a reward of great communication. I talked about the importance of not keeping secrets, and I was talking about, before we went into that, I was talking about the importance of using your mouth to speak. I know there are different
not
ways.
Body language.
There are different ways of communicating for sure, but the best one for marriage, you have to use your mouth to talk. Marriage is an institution of the talking. Marriage is not an institution of the people who speak to each other using body language. And this one goes especially to my sisters who believe that their husband should figure out what they need.
Mind readers.
Or what they are thinking. Marriage is not for mind readers. You should be able to communicate your expectations, your frustrations, your emotions using your mouth primarily. Then you corroborate it together with other forms of communication. Teach yourself to talk. If you want your marriage to collapse, don't talk. because silent treatment is, I normally say it is witchcraft.
Yeah.
Because witchcraft is manipulation. And manipulation is when you want your partner to work hard to figure out what is going wrong with you or what is going on with you.
Yeah.
Learn to speak. You don't even have to be talkative. Some people say, Pastor Doc, me, I don't talk much. In marriage, you will have to
You'll
talk.
have to talk.
So that your partner can be able to hear from you primarily what you need, what you feel, what your views are, and they can be incorporated in the marriage experience. That is how you improve your communication. The other way of improving your communication is just speaking what we call the love language of your partner. You have to communicate affection to your partner in a way that they receive it.
Yeah.
So don't communicate affection to your partner in your own way. Ask them, what is it that when I do for you or with you or to you, they make you feel for sure you are married to me. Then work hard to do that, okay? So I talked about the importance of, for intimate sex to be there, we are coming to give.
Yeah.
Number two, we must be great communicators.
Yeah.
Now, there are things that I normally call catalysts to intimate sex in marriage. That is what I will talk about, and then I think we will land the plane. Catalysts, what are some of the things that can catalyze? We have to remember that a catalyst is an enzyme. It is something that
Speeds up the
speeds
reaction.
up the reaction, makes the reaction to happen quickly.
Yes.
There are different categories, and this is according to Pastor Doc. Somebody may have other categories, and it's acceptable. The first catalyst to intimate sex in marriage is what I call spiritual catalysts. Spiritual catalysts are those spiritual activities that you do severally and together to enhance your spiritual life.
Severally and together.
Severally means apart and together. Okay? Like, for example, one of the best spiritual catalysts for intimate sex in marriage is spiritual disciplines together. Praying together, praying for and praying with your spouse, fasting together, doing outreach together, waiting on God on a particular matter together. Those ones, they speed up sexual intimacy in marriage. But also, just in that category of spiritual intimacy in marriage, spiritual catalysts in marriage, they are also the things that you don't do. For example, you don't expect intimate sex in marriage and you're flirting with other people. You have to stay away from those things that would interfere with your relationship with God. You have to flee from evil. You have to hate evil. Because it can't be one person in their personal life, they are committed to God and they're aligned to God, and there's another person here who is not working hard to ensure that they stay away from iniquity, they stay away from wickedness, and they build their relationship with God. That's very important. Spiritual catalysts, okay? Spiritual disciplines, you do them together, and also you stay away from those things that can interfere with your relationship with God. The second one is what I call emotional catalysts. These are, for example, speaking your partner's love language. Okay? Showing affection to your partner in a manner that communicates to them that they are important to you. And I've talked about the importance of speaking using your mouth. I have talked about the importance of there being no secrets in the marriage. I've talked about the importance of having constant conversations with your partner, and you have emphasized it, talking about the two of you and what your needs are. But the last one, the last catalyst is actually what I call environmental catalysts. There are people who are married, whose environment in their marital home is completely unconducive for intimate sex. Okay, so when I'm talking about environmental catalysts, for example, you need to know that the greatest requirement for sex to happen is privacy. And privacy here means that we do not allow uninvited people,
Third parties.
You know, like for example, maybe you have a partner that is very noisy when you're having sex.
Yeah.
The children will wonder what's the fight.
Why
The
are you
house help
beating
will
mom?
wonder, why are you beating mom? If you are living with your relatives or a house help,
Yeah.
you will be inviting them into a place where they are not supposed to be. And also for you, you will not have a good time of intimacy because you know there are other people.
Yeah, it's not very easy, especially for women.
Yeah.
If she knows that our neighbor is hearing
Yes.
us, or my brother-in-law is in this house,
Yes.
sleeping just
In the
behind
next
the
be-
curtain,
in the next
or in the next
bedroom.
bedroom. There are people who have a single room
Yeah.
with a curtain,
Yeah.
and there's a brother-in-law on just sofas at the other
Yeah,
side.
yeah.
She knows that there's someone who is hearing us just on the other side of the Mabatis we are staying in, and you want it to be very active. I think men don't mind. Most men don't mind about the noise.
Yeah.
In fact, they feel good because they made someone cry last night. Even when they woke up the following day, wanatembea like mulisikia. But for women, I think it breaks their it breaks them down.
Yeah.
When they leave the following day, they're like, I'm all scared.
It's because privacy is a need.
Privacy is a need.
So
Yeah.
when I'm talking about environmental catalyst, couples should invest in privacy. That's what I'm talking about. And there are many ways you can invest. You don't have to be rich.
Yeah.
One of the ways of investing in privacy is just trusting God that you'll have a house that has more than one bedroom.
Yeah.
So that if you're living with other people, they have their own spaces. If it is your home, you can invest in soundproofing, especially if you know that you normally have very noisy sex. The other way of investing in privacy is to just ensure that those days that you have scheduled sex, because sometimes it is important to schedule it, especially if both of you are running very crazy schedules.
Yeah.
You have to agree which day we are going to have sex. When you are scheduling sex, you can have those days where the children are going maybe to their grandmother or to their relatives or to their friends, and the house help has been given an off day, so that you can be able to have your own personal time, just to have sex. I don't know who said that sex should only happen in the bedroom. I always say that sex should only happen so long as there is privacy.
Exactly.
You know,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
if there are no third parties, it should happen anywhere with your spouse, anytime, so long as there is privacy. So you can invest in privacy by making plans on which those days you have scheduled sex for your children to go to a different place, or the other people that you are living with to be away from home, so that you can have your good time.
There's a problem. It was a man who reached to us. It's on our Facebook page, and he was saying that he has an issue with his wife who screams so loud. And it has become an issue for him because when they want to start, he tells the wife, please try to control yourself today. But she'll get lost and she'll just scream anyhow. And in comments, people are like, buy woofer, buy a very big music system.
Yeah, it is also one of the ways of investing in privacy when you have a music system.
But that sound just sneaks through the music system.
It can be masked.
It can be masked.
I keep telling people that's why you need to trust God for a bigger house, so that children are
But
sleeping on
meanwhile, you
first
can
floor,
invest in a woofer.
and you are sleeping on fourth floor.
Yeah,
You know, iko na villa iko na four floors.
Ama
You know.
mpeleke Mombasa penye watu hawamjui,
Yes,
pige nduru.
I was heading there. You know, so ways of investing in privacy. So one is having a house that can accommodate all the persons. Number two, investing in soundproofing. Number three, giving the children and the other people living with you a time off so that the two of you can be together. Number four is new areas.
Locations.
Actually, research has shown that married couples who have sex in new locations report better experiences. Si umewana umoja, umezaa watoto wote umoja, your neighbor is the same. You should look for a B&B one weekend. You don't have to go to Mombasa or Kilifi. Look for a B&B in Kasarani or in Kileleshwa or in Lavington for 1 or 2 days. Take the children to be with somebody else. I'ma let them stay at home with the house help and take a day or two. It has actually been shown that when you change the environment, you are increasing the chances of having very good intimate sex.
Wow.
The other ways of getting environmental catalysts for intimate sex as things now to do with your personal hygiene. Those ones normally can be the biggest hindrance. Yeah, because some people do not take care of themselves. So you just have to ensure that you cut your nails. You have to ensure that you brush your teeth and your tongue so that you don't have a mouth odor.
Yeah.
You have to discuss pubic and axillary hair. This is axillary hair and pubic hair. There are some people who like the hair. There are partners who are turned on by a hairy spouse.
Really?
Yeah, so you have to think about how just to keep them hygienic and clean.
The people are attracted to a lot of hair.
Absolutely. There are women who like hair. The way they like beards, they like hair in the groin, and they like hair in the axillary. It makes them feel like they have a partner who is very masculine. So you need to have good conversation and good communication with that. You have to also smell nice.
Yeah.
When I normally have a sex master class, and in that master class, I always encourage the couples to ensure that they are wantable. You know, just ensure that you are clean, ensure that you look sexy. You cannot go to the bedroom with an ODM t-shirt or a Safari Sevens t-shirt.
Sengenge ni ng'ombe.
Sengenge ni ng'ombe ama imara kama Simba ama burudika na Tusker. There are many products that you can be able to use to make the environment sexualized for your spouse. So you can invest in intimate innerwears, and there are many shops that are able to sell those intimate innerwears, from lingerie to boxers to products that will make you smell nice and so on.
There's an intimate boxer.
Well, it's not that it's an intimate boxer. It's just not that high school samosa underwear. You know,
Triangle.
Inaka kama triangle, and you only have one. You know, it looks like even it's becoming transparent.
Yeah,
it has discolored.
By the way, it discourages.
So just ensure that you have invested a lot in your intimate items, from socks to underwears to personal grooming to ensuring that you shower oftentimes, so that when you are having sex, you are the person does not become a hindrance. Those are some of the things that I can talk about. Also, invest in a good bed, because there are so many beds that are squeaky. You know, so your neighbor
you are just innocently turning.
And then your neighbor
like Oshanza. You are just turning, nothing.
And then some neighbors will start coming to the door to listen whether you are screaming today and so on. Just invest in a good bed, and you are going to have a great time.
You talked about that. When coming to bed, you should not come to bed with clothes. And if you have to come with the clothes, it should be the one that you can just blow and it goes away.
I think you should make it easy for your partner to access your intimate parts. That is what I had said previously somewhere where we were with you. I've always told married couples that try as much as possible to come to the marriage bed without clothes. But if you, so that your partner can access your intimate parts easily. But if you must wear something that can be removed easily. There are women who come with jeanses. There are men who come with the jeans as well. They come with they have worn all manner of clothes that are difficult to remove.
Atapata pneumonia.
And it's normally a turn off already, because I know if you are coming to sleep like that, you are telling me that I should not touch you today.
And by that, there's no always that energy of removing.
No, you can always talk to your partner and say, because remember we said that good sex is as a result of good communication. You should just communicate that the reason why you do not feel like you want to have sex today is because of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and let your partner be agreeable. So
for us, I can give an example. For us, it has been a rule since we got married that no coming to bed with anything. Whether we are not going to have it, as you've said that we have to communicate. Today we are not going to, but just be like that. It also promotes just that bonding. So it's also good we have those in-house rules. How do we do things?
You can set your rules, which will for your context, which will help to improve the intimacy. So don't come to bed having all these things that may interfere with your process of having intimate sex in marriage. I think the last one also, I would just encourage people to to study and to read more about sex, because you have to remember that in marriage now you are married to one person, and sometimes there can be what we call sexual habituation, which leads to sexual boredom. Those are concepts in sexology. Habituation is when it starts with you being used to the same person, and then being used to the same place, and then being used to the same sex positions. So the habit becomes predictable, and then the thrill and the passion
goes away.
And the thrill and the passion of sex is really a dopamine reward, because when the husband and the wife are having their orgasms, it's really the dopamine that is the happy hormone that is making them feel good during the orgasm. With time, you find that the level of dopamine that is required to make you feel sexually satisfied, it keeps moving. It keeps moving high because of habituation. So what you need to do, you need to find ways of how you can be able to break the habit. And that's why I said breaking the habit would include things like changing sex positions, or discussing new sex positions, or having sex in a different environment. You know, it could be a hotel, it could be a B&B, it could be your own travel, and so on. And also it could just be doing what you enjoy together as a hobby or as a social activity. Habituation can lead to boredom, meaning that now sex will reduce from being beautiful to being beautiful. It is reduced to penetration only. And remember, penetration itself is not the sex. It is the beginning of it. The orgasm, that is where the bonding really happens, and we should have factors in place to ensure that penetration can make us reach the height of sex, which is orgasm. So if we do not, if we are not careful, we will find that we have been used to each other, and therefore sex becomes something that we no longer look out for or look forward to. Let me just finish. Okay. So invest in knowledge. Go to seminars, take sex master classes. You know, some people are asking me, our ancestors never used to do these things. But you see, knowledge has been always evolving. They used to do what they knew. But with knowledge and study, there is new information on how we can be able to have much better experiences. So invest in knowledge, go to seminars, read books, buy sex books, come to Pastor Doc's sex masterclass. I have a masterclass actually that is coming. It's called The Repair of the Sexless Marriage. It's a 7-part masterclass for couples who feel that their sex needs to be reignited. So those kind of things are areas you can invest in.
During our counseling sessions, we've encountered a lot of couples who complain about ladies complaining about their husbands, that my husband does not know, he's poor in bed, something like that. And in fact, the lady was telling us that she has never, for the last 12 years, she has never known what orgasm is. She has never experienced it.
There are many such women.
And then we come and back to men, that no one teaches men how to have sex. No one talks about it when you are growing up. It's something that you learn on your own. Even during premarital sex counseling, and maybe now that is happening, you just be told now this is what you do, but you are not told exactly what you need to do. We assume that you are born knowing. So this man, to him, he doesn't have a prior experience or prior lessons. And he has not invested in the knowledge you're talking about. He is there in the marriage. He thinks he's giving the best. But his best is not yet best. And also, could it be because maybe this part now is saying that the man is poor in bed, could she or could he be comparing it with somebody else? Can we say that if you do not have any past experience and you meet the two of you, you won't be complaining about orgasms?
I think we need to go back a little bit, that sex was traditionally for procreation. But progressively, it has become for both procreation and recreation. If you look at our traditional African setting, and that even would inform why most of our traditional African cultures, there was more than one wife. is that sex was really for procreation, for ensuring that the clan is big, that the tribe is growing. But with time, studies have shown that other than getting children, the recreational value that you get from sex also contribute to the wellness of the marriage. And therefore, if sex is only for procreation, what is needed is just penetration. And if it is the right time, you are going to conceive and you will get the children. But because with the time we have known that sex is not just for procreation but recreation now has become a whole area of study, how we can be able to make our sexual experiences better in marriage. I have a class which I teach my premarital counseling students. It is called Intimate Sex in Marriage. And then I have another one for those who are already married. It is called Lips, Hips, and Fingertips, where I am
lips, hips, and fingertips.
Yeah, lips, hips, and fingertips. Where I'm talking about the foreplay, that is the lips, the in-play, that's the hips, and the afterplay, that's the fingertips. It's just I'm a communicator, so sometimes we try to be poetic so that people can remember.
Okay.
I think people need to be trained. In my masterclass, I have a segment that is called Sex Anatomy. The woman needs to understand her anatomy and her physiology, and the man as well, so that I understand the parts of the penis and the whole male reproductive organ. I understand the parts of the vagina and the implications that they have when it comes to building an intimate sexual relationship in marriage. This is knowledge that was not there many years ago. It is knowledge that has come recently. And now we can be able to take advantage of that information to make our sexual marital experiences better. So for the people who complain that their husband is poor in bed, first of all, I really do not think that is the right statement to make. I think the better statement to make is that we are having poor sex. Because I don't know at what point the woman concluded it is the husband that is poor in bed. It could be, there are many factors. And knowledge is the greatest mitigant. I've always told people, when you have knowledge of what you are doing, of what you are dealing with, it will help you to adjust much better. So couples need to study sex, to study the male anatomy, to study the female anatomy, to study the areas which they can touch. I have always said that in as much as we are coming to give sex, remember I said that sex, we are coming to give. We are not supposed to be selfish. In as much as I said that, I need to tell our men that honestly speaking, sex is for the woman. It is not for the man. Do you know why? Because it happens inside her. And let me tell you, if you give the woman what she wants, you will happen to be present when you give her what she wants, and she will give you back everything that you have ever desired. Women are responsive. You initiate, they are going to respond. Sex belongs to the woman, and that's why even in my masterclass, Lips, Hips, and Fingertips, where I talk about foreplay in sex, in play, and after play, I've always said that foreplay is on the woman,
not on the man,
because women are like an iron box. They take a long time to heat up, but also when you switch off, they take a long time to cool down. Men are like light bulbs. It's on and off, and they are done. So if we are married and your wife is performing foreplay on you, in 4 minutes you'll be ejaculating or less. You'll start screaming that baby I'm coming, even in 2 minutes. You know, and that is the time even the woman has not adjusted her wig or she has not removed her bra, and they're already screaming for help. So foreplay is always
for women.
On Isha, on the receptacle, on the receiver, and her body is wonderful. There are areas that when you touch will make her feel wonderful.
Right from the...
You have to discuss it with her. First of all, you have to ask her, are there areas that when I touch, they make you feel pleasurable? Because it's not the same for many women, But in general sense, areas like the back of the ears, that the earlobes, like the nipples, the clavicular area, just below the navel. Many men just go directly to the vagina.
I think most men assume that all women are the same.
Yes.
And they assume you just come and twist the nipples, then you get in, you've done the best.
Yes.
And as you have said, different women have different parts that excite them.
Yes.
One may not like the earlobes.
Yes.
One may love it.
It may even irritate them when you are touching them. Yeah.
You may kiss one on the neck and he tell you what's wrong with you. You want to bite me? Are you a vampire? That one will be like, wow, that one has finished me. Others you may kiss them, they are already on. That one may not. So I think don't just generalize.
Communication.
The way you've said, ask her.
Communication.
Which parts do you think excite you the most?
What is it that when I do, it makes you feel more pleasurable?
Then focus on that.
Then you focus on that. So foreplay is for the woman.
Yes.
This one is a cheat sheet for men. If you want your wife to start enjoying sex, go there knowing that because it is happening inside her, she comes first.
Yes.
So you have to take your time. You have to discuss things like massage during foreplay. You have to discuss things like, are there areas that you want me to kiss or areas that you want me to touch? Do you know, by the way, if you look at the the female anatomy, the genital anatomy of the woman, the most sensitive part of that anatomy is the clitoris, because it is the termination of very many sensory nerve endings. The interesting thing is the clitoris is not inside the vagina. It is outside, so that the fingers can do the walking. And many men do not know that women do not feel nice when the penis is penetrating them. They always feel nice when the penis is around the entry. So you have to look for the clitoral hood. You have to look for the clitoris. You have to look for the labia minora, which are the minor pink lips. You have to look for the labia majora, which are the major lips that have the color of the skin. And you have to look for what we call the vaginal vestibules. You can look for that using your fingers. That is why we talked about the importance of hygiene, fingertips, and also you can look for it using your penis. As you do that, you always have to maintain communication, because again, women can also be very hormonal and very emotional during sex. So you have to track and trace. As you are doing the foreplay, you have to keep asking her, what should I do more and what should I not do more?
And that's what we talked about, communication during. Before sex, during. And most people, that during sex, that silence. So you find the woman, she doesn't like what you are doing, but you are insisting on doing that.
But that too is communication, even making those sounds.
No, it's you, the man who is you think you are doing the best, but are you giving her the best?
I think the correct word then should be conversation. Yes, conversation, because communication can include also making those sounds, because when you make those sounds, it means that you are enjoying it. And also when the woman is giving you back the sounds. But as
you've said, it's for the woman. So as you are much struggling to enjoy, is she enjoying?
Yeah, so conversation is real. Men should just know that go to give your wife sex. If you give your wife good sex, you will receive it right back.
And a very important point is that you should be invited in.
Yes.
You should be invited in. You should give her a foreplay until now she tells you, now come.
Yes.
You should not be first to just see the idea and then
that's
you
why
want
I'm talking about communication. It's not really invited, because invited makes it looks like it's one-sided. I think she needs to be ready. You need to work on ensuring that she's ready for penetration, and that is what conversation is about. I keep telling guys, if you want heaven at 11, you start at 7. So 7 in the morning. How did you wake up? Did you say hello? Did you communicate during the day? Did you try to help or meet her needs during the day? So that way you are marinating her, and she's feeling, I truly have somebody that cares for me. For many women, sex is emotional. It's not physical. For men, most of the time, sex is physical. Men want sex for pleasure or because of pressure. But for women, they want sex for pleasure and procreation. Simple. So when men are under stress in life, they want sex. That is why when men are having difficult times, they are having problems at the workplace and problems in the business and so on. All they want to come and do is to have sex to release the pressure.
Yeah, Pastor also says that men always want sex to relax.
Yeah.
But women want sex after they are relaxed.
Yes, because they are relaxed.
Yeah, that's the difference.
So you see now, that is why also gathering knowledge is important, because these are things that are not written on a wall.
Exactly.
You have to read the studies that people have put in place. So I was talking about foreplay. It's on the woman. All right? And it will reach a point when the foreplay has made the woman now ready for penetration. And because you are conversing, she will let you know on when is the best time to penetrate or to come in. That is what we call in play. So foreplay is on the woman, on the wife by the husband. In play is now both of you. The woman has already been marinated. She is ready and she is wet. You have been able to penetrate. And as you do that also, you keep conversing. Does she want to have slow or faster? Fast? Does she want you to withdraw and stroke the clitoral and the labial areas and so on? That conversation needs to keep going. But the issue here is this. Men have a very short sex response cycle that is around 4 minutes. The moment there is penetration like this, a natural man cannot go beyond 4 minutes before they have their first ejaculation. The first sign of orgasm in men is ejaculation. The ejaculation of the semen. And you see, 4 minutes when it's not very fair for the woman. Because remember we said that she's like an iron box. She wants you to take your time.
She's now picking up and you're already done.
And you're already done. So a lot of communication and skill and understanding of sex mechanics is needed there so that you can be together. Because if you just penetrate and your goal is to ejaculate, you will ejaculate. You are going to feel like you are satisfied, but you have left your partner hanging over there. So there has to be conversations during that so that and I don't want to get into the sex mechanics class, so that both of you can be able to achieve orgasm in the same experience. So in play is now when there is trust, when there is the in and out movement, there is a lot of conversation, there is a lot of making out, there is a lot of intensified caressing and so on. Then there is something that we call afterplay. The afterplay is always different for the men and the women. For the men, the afterplay comes immediately they have ejaculated. Of course, even for the women, the afterplay comes when they have had their orgasm. But we need to know that women are the most needy during foreplay and during afterplay. So foreplay is for the woman. In play is for both of you. Afterplay is for the woman. And the reason why men are normally disinterested in sex naturally after ejaculating is because the hormone that helps the ejaculation, which is called testosterone, after ejaculating, the hormone levels have dipped down. So the desire to want to continue with sex is not there.
Gone,
So a man can switch from having passionate sex with his wife to a totally different activity, like working on an Excel sheet, immediately.
Or you pick your phone immediately.
As they wipe themselves with a towel, and that is the time the wife is the most emotionally needy. So having to understanding that will help you know that as soon as you have ejaculated, you need to know that your wife needs you. So that is the time to compliment her body. That is the time to tell her that you love her. That is the time to tell her that you are so proud she's the mother of your children. That is the time to tell her that this is the best sex you've ever had since you got married. That is the time to cuddle and to hold and so on. It communicates to her that she's special to you.
And it also makes her not to feel that she has been used.
Yes, because if you don't do that, she will feel like she has just been an object for your needs. Because most of the time, let me tell you, even for women that do not orgasm, if the man has orgasm with the evidence of ejaculation and the woman has not orgasm, but the man knows how to handle the woman after his orgasm, the woman will really feel wanted. So foreplay is focused on the woman. In play is both of us enjoying our company. After play should focus on the woman as well. That makes that sex cycle to be complete and to be intimate. Yeah.
So I think even as I was talking about men taking up the roles, and I was having an issue whereby a woman was saying that my wife never initiates sex, always me every now and then. I think also, as much as they may also initiate, we should take the role.
Let me tell you, Salano, can I tell you something?
Yes.
Women follow. I have told you, and I keep telling women, you need a leader. You don't need a lover. A lover you can be grown from the leader. In fact, I normally say when a woman is younger, they always look for a lover because they are more focused on their emotions. But when they grow older in the marriage, they start looking for the leader in the lover, because now they are not driven by emotions, they are driven by condition or conviction. So there are times that many women will tell you, for me, the sexiest thing for me is the way my husband is leading this family or leading us, where I feel stable, I feel secure, I feel like we have been established. Nothing turns on a woman like security and stability. That's very important for people to understand. And therefore, men naturally have been designed to be the initiators. Remember, the man is the ish. There is not there, the ground comes to ask for the seed. The ground can show signs that it is ready for the seed, but the farmer must go and sow the seed or plant the seed. Men are initiators. But I'm telling you, a man who is visionary, a visionary leader, who has a sense of purpose, who is present at home, that man is a complete turn on to his wife, that the wife will not hesitate as her response to his leadership to initiate. She's initiating it because now she has become your seductress. The Bible talks about this in the book of Titus, that wives should be lovers of their husbands. When we talk about lovers of the Bible talks about the wife loving the husband only in the book of Titus. But that word love there is not agape, it is eros. Where we get the word erotic, or where we get the word erotic. The word that is translated love, when the husband is told to love the wife, it's not agape. Eros, it's agape, which is unconditional love or convictional love. The woman's instruction is to love her husband, to arouse her husband, to eroticize her husband. Basically, it means that the wife should be her husband's mistress. She should be her husband's seductress. The word there is to want to cling to, so that you can arouse, if you know what I mean. But women will only respond. You see, like the way Christ loved the church first, and then the church responded to his love by accepting him and worshiping him for the rest of its life. That is the same with women. Women are not generally initiators. They are responders. The leader is the initiator. And it doesn't just talk about initiating sex. It is initiating vision. It is initiating purpose. It is initiating direction. It is initiating stability and security for the family. When the woman has those things, what happens now? She responds to your leadership by becoming the full self of seductress that she can become. So women can initiate sex because they love their leader. And great kingdom husbands should be both leaders and lovers. Very important. Don't say now I am a leader, I have forgotten her. Women are very special beings. That is why the Bible says that we should live with them according to understanding, or they are almost mysterious beings, because they could keep changing their their faces, for lack of a better word. And because of sometimes the emotional and the psychological ups and downs that they have, they require a man who is very stable and secure, even when she's looking like she's unstable and she's going through the motions and so on. Nothing turns on a woman like that. When a woman knows that you are stable and you are secure, you are visionary, and that you are leading, that woman is going to be your seductress without you asking.
Wow.
Yeah.
That was. Thank you so much for that.
Thank
that was
you.
very powerful.
Thank you.
Your last words?
The first part of this show, I talked about some basics of the marriage.
Yeah.
And there's a word that kept coming up. It's called the original design.
Yeah.
I have written a book. It is called The Original Design. You can see it on your screen.
Yeah.
That book is a singles guide to a kingdom marriage. It has 5 chapters.
Wow.
I have talked about the man of God. I have talked about the work of God. I have talked about the word of God. I have talked about the woman of God. And I have talked about the marriage of God, or God's marriage. If you like, I have talked about the kingdom man, then the kingdom purpose, then the kingdom manual, then the kingdom woman, then the kingdom marriage. 5 chapters.
Wow.
If you are single and you are looking for steps you can be able to follow to get into a kingdom relationship that will lead to a kingdom marriage, The Original Design is the book for you.
You should have just looked there, so tell them.
Yeah.
Now repeat again.
Yeah, so in the first section of our show today, there's a word that kept coming up, and this word is the original design. The reason is I have written a book that is called The Original Design. You can see it on the screen. The Original Design is the singles guide for a kingdom marriage. It has 5 chapters. The first chapter I've talked about the kingdom man. Second chapter I've talked about the kingdom purpose. Third, I've talked about the kingdom manual. Fourth, I've talked about the kingdom woman. And then fifth, I've talked about the kingdom marriage. If you're out there and you're trusting God to be a husband or a wife in future, this is the book for you. It is $14.50. You can pre-order in the details provided. You can see it on your screen, and you are going to have you are going to be ahead of others, or you're going to be ahead of yourself as far as preparing for the kingdom marriage is concerned. I want to encourage every married couple that could be having a challenge in their life, that there is no problem that is too hard to solve. We have talked about intimate sex in marriage. There is knowledge out there that you can invest in to reverse some of the challenges that you're having in their marriage. So reach out to me. Yeah, my number is there on the screen, 0708114776. You can also write an email to me, info@pastordoc.co.ke, and on social media, I am Pastor Doc on Facebook, on Instagram, and on TikTok. Asante sana.
Wow. Thanks so much, Pastor Doc, for coming to grace this our show today.
Thank you.
It has been a session of learning. If you haven't learned anything, I have. So we also, with my wife, we have done some books here. This first one is called Healing After Infidelity. If you went through cheating or someone cheated on you, you need to heal before you move to the next relationship. You need that time. This book will also help you to know how to heal, what to do during that healing process. Another book is called Sacred Intimacy. For those who are in marriage that maybe is dying, we talked about when there is that doing same things every day, habituation
and boredom.
Then you become lonely in your marriage. This book can help you on how you can rejuvenate back your love in marriage and become hot again. And then this one is the newest book for those who are dating. It's called not this one. Oh my God, this one is called From Lust to Lasting Love. For those who are dating, those who are in a relationship, want to get marriage, and also those who are preparing to get married. This book is a good manual that can help you get into a marriage in a better way. Then we have here this called Conflict Management. I think we should talk about conflict management next time.
Yeah, we should.
Conflict management in marriage.
Yeah.
How to solve simple issues that can lead to an elephant in the room. Why you should not stay nail by mouth for 3 months for something you have just solved in a day. Our last book is called Bridging the Distance. I didn't carry a copy. It's for those who are in long distance marriages and you want to connect despite your distance, despite the distance. That book can really help you. And then finally, we also offer counseling sessions to couples, both virtual and physical. If you are away, you are in Canada, you are in USA, you are in Spain, you are in Uganda, you are in Tanzania, we do both virtual sessions. If you are also in Kisumu, Kakamega, you can't come to Nairobi, and you're in Nairobi, we also have physical sessions. Feel free to book a session with us. We also have our books in soft copy. The links both for Pastor Doc and my books will be in the comment section.
Yeah.
You'll be able to buy on these books online. And if you're in Nairobi, you want a counseling session, kindly reach out to us through 0728 794 307, 0728 794 307, or 0716 876169. Until next time, may God bless you so much. Thank you.